What's going on, guys? I am Matthias and welcome back to
Photoshop Fails.
This is a series where I take a look at 20 Photoshop pictures and figure out whether it's a fail or a win and try to figure out what the heck, what went wrong with these photos? Why do they exist? What's the mentality behind them? Why? But today is a little something different. We're looking at magazine Photoshop fails. All these exist on the cover of a magazine or inside a magazine. In other words, these people doing these Photoshop fails should know better because this is actually their professional job. What? So if you're enjoying this series and you want to see more Photoshop fails in the future, make sure you give this video a like right now, because that lets me know to continue to make this series. Without those, then I'm like, oh, well, people don't like it anymore, and then I just stop. So let's begin. Babe on a surfboard, right? Who doesn't like a babe on a surfboard? Well, Veronica K, I'm pretty sure you have more than one leg. Pretty sure. I'm not fully sure because I don't really know who you are, Veronica K. I'm almost positive you got more than one leg because, well, it'd be pretty hard to surf with just one leg. I've seen people surf with no legs. That's impressive. That's a skill. But one leg? I think that'd be even more impressive. Either way, this is just a Photoshop fail. She's got two legs. How do you make an error like that? That's just strange. And Stuff Magazine too. Subscribe to Stuff Magazine for all sorts of stuff. This is the dude from One Tree Hill. Nope, that's not it. Boy band. He's in a boy band. Nope, that's not it. One Direction? No, too many tattoos. Maroon 5, that's it, I remembered. He's the one that's like, He's got a really high-pitched voice, and that high-pitched voice, many of you might not know, come from having a lack of a diaphragm. You can see right here, his whole entire chest is just vanishing behind her leg. Either he's just super skinny, or that's why he has a high voice. That's why, we figured it out. Also, random lady's leg. Good for you, dude. You have ladies' legs. Total teen star Justin Bieber. Okay, so this is definitely a different language. So maybe wherever this magazine is from, men wear makeup in that country. So their culture is like maybe the reverse of ours. You know, it's like this culture is like, oh, you know, when a woman doesn't wear makeup, they add makeup. Maybe it's reversed. Maybe it's when a man doesn't wear makeup, they add makeup. And maybe they were looking at Justin Biebs and they were like, what is wrong with this guy? He's not wearing makeup. Let's just put makeup on his face right here and then all will be well. Either way, Justin Bieber still looks better than me. Great. Elly, I don't know. Starring Kylie. Why is it always the Kardashian? Why can't I say that word? Why is it always the Kardashians? Anyways, I don't think this is a Kardashian. I can't say Kardashian in a sentence. I think I just did. Anyways, this Photoshop fail, where's her foot? Where's her foot? Maybe she's footless. I think these Photoshopists, I don't know what their titles are. You know, the people that do the Photoshop in these big time magazines. Maybe they're like, they just have this thing against feet. Maybe they're like, you know what? Screw feet. I hate them. Maybe it's just one guy. Maybe it's just one footless guy that's just got a vengeance on feet, you know? Maybe he just hates feet. And you'll see in the rest of all these Photoshop fails, I guarantee you there's more footless or foot deformed people. Maybe that's just the Photoshop guy that's just having a go at all these feet, but I wish you had your foot back. At first, I was looking at this one and I was like, what's wrong with this one? It looks fine. And then I realized that her hand, see that hand? What is it supported by? Where's her other arm? I don't even know where her left arm's going. What? It's Russian Vogue. In Russia, they don't like arms, they like floating hands. Ah, Beyonce. That's Beyonce, right? Again with Russia. I think, at least. That's, I don't know, maybe not. But Glamour just really darkened her skin up. You know, in their defense, skin tone is a really difficult thing. If you're taking a picture with a camera and the camera gets the skin tone wrong, it's really, really surprisingly difficult to fix that skin tone. So maybe they just didn't know who this was and they were like, I guess this is the skin tone, but it's not. The left one is much more proper, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or maybe in between. See, I don't even know. I don't look at her that much. Oh, Emma Watson, got your hands around a Fall Out Boy. I don't know, he looks like he's in a boy band. You don't realize that this photo exists because she's putting her arm around this person because she needs support. Because she too, like the other ones, is legless. Where did the other leg go? She's just got one leg and she needs to be supported. And that's why she's got her hand around this guy. Maybe they're modeling clothes, I don't know. He seems to be really trying to get out of those pants though. Keep them on, buddy. Okay, on the right, we have the Lady Gaga. She's in this dress. She looks like a normal human. Okay, that was an overstatement. Without the hair, looks like a normal human body. Looks a little like Frankenstein with the hair. But then you see the finished photo. What has happened? That's not a human at all. That's not at all what she looked like in that dress. Where are her legs supposed to go? How would you walk? I know dresses like this kind of existed in the past, but let's be honest here. Not even one leg could fit through that, unless you're super, super skinny. But from this photo, you can tell she's not super, super skinny. She's skinny, she's healthy, but this ain't. Yes, this one's a classic. This one just recently happened as well. You see this, is this a Kardashian? I don't know. It's probably not. And look at her feet, right there. 2 right feet. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had 2 right feet, I would be sitting as well. I wouldn't be standing because that'd be kind of embarrassing to stand and fall over when you have 2 right feet. How does that even happen though? Maybe like one of her feet were covered up and the Photoshop guy was like, oh, I'll just use her other foot, but then forgot to flip it or something. Whoops. Okay, this one just made me laugh. This one's definitely never was on the Shape magazine, I guarantee you. And if it was, wow. I think maybe just some random person did this, but it did make me laugh, so I included it. You see how the abs are not even like correctly proportioned, let alone her waist? That's not a human form, not at all. Yikes. This right here is the lead star of that TV show on TV called Scandal, okay? Essence magazine thought, hey, it would be really cool if we could have a scandal on our own magazine. So they made her dress look saggy in one part and not so saggy in the other part. Kind of tight fitting on the left, and on the right, not so tight fitting. See, I'm not the only one that caught this. Someone else put WTF. But seriously though, WTF, what happened there? Look, it's Brad and Angelina Jolie. I know those two because they always are famous for having so many kids. You could see in this zoomed in part, he's holding a kid's hand that is not in the photo. Whose hand is he holding? Are they just grabbing kids off the street now? Either that or it's a Photoshop fail. Jetzt Kampf sie mit allen Tricks. See? Look at these two. They're pulling off tricks to get more kids. That's the directly translated title. I'm sure of it. You guys ever seen Gilmore Girls? Whoever was making WebMD didn't realize that Gilmore Girls is a really popular show, so they just took what they thought was some random woman's head and put it on this person's body. And they're like, bada bing, bada boom, looks like we got ourselves a magazine cover. But you can clearly tell that her face was photoshopped onto that body. Not even well. There's no neck or something. What? The face is too small too. More neck, bigger head, please. There's something wrong with Eminem's eyes. There's something wrong with them. They're like way too white. They're like in shadow, but they're still super white. Not to mention that tattoo. I don't think that tattoo is real. Does Eminem really have a Punisher tattoo on his chest? Because if so, I feel like if I were to get that, I would immediately regret it. I feel like I'm regretting it for him right now. See those eyes? That's the look of regret after getting that tattoo. Just so pissed. This one took me a while. Look, it's Elly again. You people have to really fire your Photoshop artists, because this one took me a while to get. First I was looking down at the leg and I was like, wow, that's a really long arm she's got there, but maybe she's just skinny, that's fine. But then I was like, okay, this girl's neck, that's not a human neck. They were like, okay, this girl on the right, she's a little short. Let's make her a little bit taller to give this photo some good composition. And they're like, instead of raising her whole body, let's just raise her head. Stretch her neck out, she won't mind. Taylor Swift! Look at her in the left shot, the natural Taylor Swift. And then you have in the right one, this weird robot. This is like the robot that's going to take over the world. It's gonna look like Taylor Swift. When you see that, you run. You run for it, man. Scary stuff. More photoshopping faces. Zooey Deschanel. Yes, I know that one, only because my wife is obsessed with her. Amanda really loves Zooey Deschanel. She's always like,
oh, so cute, she's so funny.
But this one, what'd they do to her face? That's arguably not even the same person. Doesn't even look anything alike besides the hair. Not even the same color eyes, or the same shape of lips, or the same nose. They like stretched out her nose and it looks like my nose. And that's not a compliment. Lady Gag's back at it again with the thin waist. I mean, that's just a weird stance to begin with. Really weird. Whoops! Juan Camilo Donado has 2 belly buttons! Justin! He was birthed by 2 different women. Oh, snap! That's a twist for the Inquirer. Demi Moore. You can look down here, and you look that her hip doesn't line up with her leg. Now that's curious. So I'm thinking, what most likely happened? The editor of the magazine looked at the image and he was like, too hip. And he was talking about her dress. And he was just saying, like that's too hip, that's too cool. Maybe make her wear a different dress. But the Photoshop artist thought he was saying, oh, too hippie. So removed some of her hip. And then he gave it back to him and he was like, the heck's wrong with you? Guys, go check out the last Photoshop fail right there, just as funny. And if you're new here, consider subscribing right here. Click on that subscribe button because I make these videos every single Thursday for your face. Okay, high five.